about RV parks is a lot of times they have tiny libraries. I am going to go ahead and donate this book. I read it, it was fun. It was the book I read this month. I was gonna read a different one and then it just didn't work out. So I had this one, I wanted to read it and I'm done with it. I'm going to go ahead and donate it. Hey there, my name is Katie and this is the How to Be a Minimalist YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about defining your whys. I wanted to talk about this today because it is so important to define your whys with whatever it is that you're doing. First off, it's really easy to quit when you hit that first stumbling block and you wonder why you're even doing whatever it is you're trying to do in the first place. With minimalism, this can be coming across that first item that's really hard to get rid of. And you might say, well, I don't even know I'm practicing minimalism anyway, and you might want to quit. If you know why you're doing something, it is so much easier to stay on track. The other thing about defining your whys is it helps you to stay focused. And while, yeah, sometimes our whys change over time, a lot of times it's important to keep them the same and remember our whys because it will help us and guide us in the right direction that we really want to go instead of getting sidetracked or even compromising what we wanted to do in the first place. Today I've got some questions that will help you to define your whys. I hope that they help you and get you on the right track. It can be really hard to figure out what you want out of minimalism, but I have found that these few questions really have helped me to define my whys and have helped me to stick to minimalism when the times get tough. I believed that minimalism would create extra time for myself, so I asked myself, what do you want to do with your extra time? This question has led to me doing so many different things on a personal level. I have gone after goals, or I have made time to be healthier, all kinds of different things. Whenever I've asked myself this question, what do you want to do with your time? It always helps me to refocus and to motivate me on what I really want to be doing. It has also helped me to make sure that I'm keeping track of my house and our possessions and our minimalistic practices so that we can have more family time and also time with friends and things like that. When we've had more time, our lives have been a lot fuller because we've been able to implement more positive things into our lives, and it's been a major game changer. Another question I like to ask myself or suggest others ask is, what appeals to you about having less? For me, something that is very appealing is a very clean looking home. Now I know my house is not always clean. In fact, if I turn the camera around right now, it's like, pretty clean. We're kind of in the end of our school day, beginning of playtime, and so it's just kind of messy. Generally speaking, yeah, it's really got a clean appearance. The number one reason why I appreciate that is because I do not like having chores nag at me. It's like that whole, if you have a sink full of dishes, every time you go past that kitchen, you're going to be thinking, I should be doing the dishes. It's just not a very peaceful way to live from my experience. That is on the what I appreciate about having less when I'm talking about physical kind of side of things with minimalism. But also another thing that appeals to me about minimalism is having less obligations or having less clutter in my head because I am practicing emotional minimalism. There are so many things that I love about minimalism and so many things that appeal to me that I'm gonna leave it kind of at that, but there are a lot of practices that come with minimalism that are beautiful and have so many benefits to them. This next question might not seem totally related to minimalism, but just hear me out, okay? Unless you are living solo and never see another human being, your minimalistic practices are going to affect other people. I think it's inevitable that the way that you spend your time, spend your money, and just develop certain relationships, it's going to affect other people. Of course, you can't change other people, and I'm not suggesting that you do that. I can only change for myself, and you can only change for yourself. But that doesn't mean that we cannot positively influence others. So my question for you is, how would you like to positively influence other people? I feel like this can be done in so many ways when it comes to practicing minimalism. It might mean that your home is a really beautiful retreat for others to come and visit or come home to if they also live in your home. It might mean that you develop really beautiful relationships that you put a lot of time and effort into that will most certainly influence other people. There are so many beautiful ways that we can use minimalism to influence others and just show them that it really can be a beautiful lifestyle. I'm not saying that you need to try to influence anyone else to become a minimalist, but sometimes people notice that we are different when we have different practices, and that can be a great thing. You might find people asking you about minimalism, or just notice that you are a little bit less stressed out or a little happier in your life. It's really hard to tell all the ways in which a positive practice will influence others, but if you can think of ways that you would like to change yourself in order to benefit others, those can be some really beautiful whys and great things for you to hang on to when the going gets tough. When I understand what my whys are, I usually create little mantras for myself. I have done this so many times with various things. It's just a great way to kind of have a knee-jerk reaction when you are tempted to purchase something or eat something that's outside of your plan, or when you are tempted to indulge in negative thinking. I've used so many different mantras, but some of my favorites have been for my family. That has been a great one that has helped me to stay focused in a variety of areas in my life. I love a stress-free home is a really good one for me, and it reminds me of how peaceful I feel when our house looks and feels as best as it can. I'm passionately persistent is one of my latest favorite ones, and I really like that mantra because it's so applicable to various things, but it really helps to encourage me when I'm feeling a little bit discouraged. Your mantra will most likely be completely different. Maybe you don't even want to do it. Maybe you just want to kind of journal about it. Sometimes I've done that as well. I have written some of these things on my vision board, and it's just been a really good way to stay on track. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel so you'll get more content like this. I hope you have a great minimalist week. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time. Remember, it's all about the experiences, not the stuff.